Welcome back to the NFA Review channel. You guys have been stellar lately, just following along on Facebook and Instagram, subscribing to Full 30 in YouTube, as well as checking out Patreon. In fact, September 5th, we are going to be giving away another suppressor and a ton of gift cards. So if you don't know what Patreon's all about, click the URL below to get caught up. But today, we are going to be reviewing the energetic Armament VOX. VOX, Latin for voice. You know, I'm pretty sure we're going to be giving our firearm a different voice today. I had the opportunity to meet the owners of Energetic Armament, Steve and Karl, at the NRA show in Dallas, Texas earlier this year. And I have to say, right off the bat, you could tell how much passion they put into this product and to suppressors in general. They are using super high-end metals, which we will get into later. Very unique designs as far as a new front end cap wipe system. And the first thing I noticed was, hey, that's a dead air mount on there. I said, what's going on with that? And he goes, well, you know, we engineered the hell out of this can to be the best there is. And we spent a ton of time on mounting systems. And we kept coming back to, wow, look how great the dead air is. So they approached them. Instead of doing some thieving backdoor action, they went straight to the source, said, hey, do you guys mind if we use your kick-ass mount on our kick-ass can? And Dead Air are pretty cool people, so they said yes. So now we have a suppressor that you can order with a Dead Air chemo mount, direct thread, and it's also adaptable to use other mounts out there like the Soundstrico ASR, Yankee Hill machine stuff, and the Q Plan B. So no matter what, no matter how much you have invested in your different muzzle devices on your guns, you're going to be able to run the VOX on there, lickety split. So let's go ahead and cover the nitty-gritty, the specifications, and then we'll get into what really sets this can apart from the rest. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and hit that range. Let's go ahead and see what's in the box. All right, as I was going through the boxes before filming, I noticed that each suppressor had its own unique manual. So, case in point, for the direct thread version, you actually have a nice schematic blueprint here of the suppressor, thread specification, stuff like that. Almost as if it was written by an engineer. Shocker. So that's pretty cool. And then let's go ahead and pull the suppressors out. So in the box, you'll have some thread locker for the mount interface on the back of the can. You'll have your takedown tool. And for this one, that is all we get. So the manual down there. And then this one, you have the same, save for that mount. It's going to come with a Dead Air chemo and, of course, the muzzle device, which I have already mounted. So go ahead and put that aside. So as we get into the specifications, just to make the video a little easier to follow, I'm going to tell you the specs on the direct thread version first, followed by the chemo version, okay? So the direct thread version comes in an overall length of 5.9 inches, and the Dead Air mount version comes in an overall length of 7.4 inches. Of course, they both come in at the same diameter at 1.5 inches, and the direct thread version weighs 12.6 ounces versus the QD version at 15.8. Now, none of us out there care what the wipe weighs, but again, this company was founded by engineers, so of course they weighed the wipe. And if you're curious, the wipe comes in at 0.4 ounces. So for you gram counters out there, you're gonna have to decide to run it wipe or no wipe. So, and we will touch base on that wipe here shortly on what makes it so cool. So, moving down the suppressor. The tube itself is the baffle stack. So this is nothing new. A lot of companies have taken to this. It will save weight if you can do it correctly and make it structurally sound, which they have in spades. So if you look here closely, you can see some beautiful weld lines. I'll throw some B-roll up there to kind of give you guys a closer look. So the material itself for the stack is new. I had never heard of it until I met them at the NRA show, and it is called heat-treated C300 nickel cobalt Maraging alloy. It is a mouthful. Apparently it has been around since the 50s. I'll get to that in just a second. And it is very durable. Again, we'll circle back and we will cover just that alloy in just a second. Let's go ahead and move to the rest of the can. Front cap, 17.4, heat treated stainless steel. Their direct thread system here that they sell for the suppressor comes in 1/2 by 28 or 5/8 by 24. That's going to be titanium. Everything finished in a really nice black nitride coating here. So you might be wondering what this can withstand. Does that make sense? What this can withstand? It's pretty durable, guys. So I asked them how strong it was, and they both kind of smirked, and then I got the full rundown.
Jesus, the fuck is this?
What does it look like? It's a fucking sawn-off shotgun, okay? It's what you asked me to fucking get you. I mean, you asked me for this, mate.
We shoot somebody with this fucking thing, it's gonna kill everybody in the fucking room.
There are no barrel length restrictions on the suppressor at all, okay? And it is rated for 5.56 full auto, 308 full auto, 300 blackout, you guessed it, full auto, with zilch on the barrel restrictions. And then it is rated up to 300 RUM, again, no barrel restrictions, but the full auto ratings is 5.56, 308, 300 blackout. And that is followed by a lifetime no hassle guarantee. You're probably wondering how they can afford to do that if you blow up your can, and it's probably because, one, it's so strong it probably never will, but if you do have a trajectory mishap and blow out the front of your can with some wacky cheap ammo, they have patented this new thing called their identification ring. So it's a serial ID ring. Now, this idea of protecting the serial number, the tube itself, I guess you could say, this technically is the suppressor on paper, on legal paper. This idea is nothing new. Silencer Co. kind of like led the way on this. If you look here at the Osprey, the front booster housing has the IDs, you know, the identification for the suppressor, the serial number, stuff like that. Well, you have the stainless piston running through that booster housing. So if you shoot the gun and something happens here, there's no way a bullet can breach that stainless booster or piston and fracture this housing. So if anything happens, it's going to happen from here to here, which they can just press fit a new front on. Well, the same thought process went into this. With the dead air mount, looking at it, the bullet is going to start right around here. So that's where it's going to exit the mount. And on the direct thread version, again, just past the identification ring is where the muzzle ends once it's threaded on the gun. So no matter what, there's no way, save for some act of God, that this part here is going to be damaged. So if you do have a problem, and I'll show you a close-up shot here, it is pinned to the housing and is welded to the baffle stack itself. So all you would have to do is contact Energetic Armament, send in your suppressor, they'll pop that ring off, throw it on a brand new can, re-weld it, and send it out the door. So pretty neat system there, pretty awesome that they were able to patent that to protect us all. And with the innovation that this company is coming out with, I'm pretty sure they're going to be around for quite some time. Now that we have that out of the way, we can cover the front cap system. So it does come with a takedown tool I showed you earlier. So on one side you have a spanner, okay, and that's to remove your threaded adapters or any of these QD mounts from any of those companies out there. And then on the flip side, you have a wrench. So just throw that on the front here. That was on there good. Come on. I should have removed the threaded version one because I already had it off earlier. This one's all shipping tight. Okay. And there is anti-seize compound on there, so as messy as I am, expect that to be all over my hands here shortly. So basically what you have here is a sandwich type system. You have the front cap, and as you can see, it is captive. The wipe is captive in here, and you use a 9/16 socket. So I'll show you here on B-roll. Use that socket to unthread the inner housing here, and then you can replace those wipes at will. With the profile of the front of a bullet on a 300 blackout, you know, if you're not running hollow points or something, but you know, it'll probably last 50 rounds. I mean, subsonic speeds, you shouldn't rag it out too much. You're probably wondering, why would I want a wipe on a rifle suppressor? Well, immediately when I saw it at the NRA show, I hoped I knew why they did it, and I was correct. It's for two reasons. One, sound reduction when using subsonic cartridges, and flash reduction. So I'm not a door kicker. I'm not behind enemy lines trying not to be seen. But one of the problems, even with a suppressor, is flash mitigation. So your first couple rounds through a suppressor are going to be burning up that available oxygen. Sometimes, depending on the design of the material, whether it's titanium, it sparks a lot, or the volume of the oxygen and the way it jets through the suppressor, you will get a jetting flame shooting out the front of the can for the first couple rounds of that magazine. That is the last thing you want when somebody else is either A, wearing night vision, they can see that really bright, or they're not wearing night vision. A night-adjusted eye could see a flash from a muzzle at 12 o'clock pretty damn easily. So that was pretty cool. I also mentioned it probably water seals the barrel. It's essentially, you know, a watertight chamber threaded onto the front of your can. So the door kickers that swim in on shore don't need to throw a condom on the front of their gun anymore, and there's no need to time drain time. A lot of the older cans of the early 2000s had specifications of drain time. Well, that's because when they were testing cans for the military, when they would come up from a maritime environment, it had to drain in a certain time period so they can get into action and shoot quickly without rupturing the front of the suppressor. Okay, so that will probably keep out water as well. So as far as the calibers we're going to be shooting today, the 300 blackout's what I'm going to be running through the wipe, and I bet you it's going to sound pretty cool. With that out of the way, let's circle back to the C300 alloy. So I asked him, I said, how did you come about this alloy? He goes, well, you know, in their race to build a very high quality suppressor, the materials out there did not allow them to achieve their goal, okay? And they wanted lightweight with high durability. Well, titanium is the first thing you think of when you think of lightweight. Well, titanium is brittle, it can't handle mag dump after mag dump, and then when you go to stellite and Inconel 718, it's very, very heavy. So they put their nose to the books and dug and dug and dug and found something interesting. The alloy used on the NASA rocket motor casings is C300 nickel cobalt Maraging alloy. So this is a very, very robust alloy steel that is highly regulated and controlled. The bar stock itself is ITAR controlled, just like guns and night vision are. You have to have a special license to be able to buy and trade this alloy. How strong is it, you might ask? Take a seat, because I had to read my notes a couple times before I came to the realization this is probably the strongest metal ever to be used in a suppressor. It has a strength of 285 KSI after heat treat. One more time. That's 285,000 pounds per inch after heat treat. Then I asked him, well, how tough is it? You know, it's fine at room temperature, but how tough is it once the sucker heats up when homeboy's out there doing mag dumps with his Mark 18 clone, mag dump after mag dump of full auto? And they said that at 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, it is still stronger than 17.4 heat-treated stainless at room temperature. So at 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit glowing, it is still stronger than 17.4 heat-treated stainless. As far as what it costs, the version that comes with the dead air chemo, it will come with the actual QD mount here and one muzzle device, comes in at a retail price of $9.95. And then the direct thread version that will come with one of your two choices, the 1/2x28 or 5/8 by 24 titanium mount, comes in at a retail price of $6.95. So under the $1,000 mark on this product, and it's probably the toughest, most innovative can that I've had the pleasure of handling this year. So I am just as excited to get out there and review it. I know you guys are. So let's grab I'm gonna grab a bolt action 300 blackout to see just how quiet we can get it with that wipe. I'll grab let's do a semi-auto 308, okay? And then let's do a 6.5 Creedmoor bolt gun too. Let's kind of mix it up a little bit, see what it sounds like on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get packed up, hit that range, and let's get to it. All right, everybody, before we get started today, I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be giving away this suppressor to one lucky Patreon subscriber. So this ends in serial number, the number ends in 101. So one of you guys is going to be lucky enough to win this sucker. So my next suppressor giveaway is a Bowers Biddy. That's going to be the first week of September. And then that's going to be with the 6 gift cards. And then let's say the second week of October, I'm going to give away this with the other pack of gift cards on Patreon. Only reason why I'm pushing it back a week is because I'm driving up to Georgia for the Iraq vet shoot that we do every year for YouTube. So I'm going to be up in Georgia during the normal time I would do the drawing. So yeah, this can is pretty badass, and one of you is going to take it home. Let's go ahead and get shooting. Really? Really? Dude, that wipe is amazing. Take your ears off, AJ.
I didn't even hear it.
That can't be real.
The only thing I heard is it hit the target.
Okay, hold on. I can't, okay. This,
It is firing, right?
hold on, let me try to hit the steel. What the hell?
That's retarded.
Can you hear the gas escaping?
Yes, that's all I hear.
So, like, you shoot it, you hear something, and then you can hear it go, it like fizzes.
Here, I guarantee you I couldn't hear it at the target. I'll bet you money if I was standing there I probably wouldn't hear it. That is retarded.
Hold on. Yard pop. Alright. This is ridiculous.
Sounds like your old lady.
That sounds so
Sounds
cool.
like your old lady's queeping.
Dude, what the hell?
That's retarded. It's like a fucking water gun.
How far away is that berm? Like 45 yards?
Maybe.
Last round. Okay, we're doing this again.
Yes.
But we're gonna get that lens and the microphone like right here.
Okay. Get a little whisper on that one.
Oh yeah. Literally, all you hear is the hammer drop, bullet impact, and a little whistle of gas out of here. That is awesome. All right, those of you that subscribe to my channel for any amount of time know that I approach these reviews with a very open mind and try to stay as objective as possible. Let me tell you, what you saw earlier with AJ hooting and hollering behind the microphone, that was legitimate shock. I had no idea what was happening. We actually thought that this thing misfired for real. It was that quiet. It doesn't get any quieter than that. So that's, yeah, this is insane. The wipe, it lasted about 75 to 100 rounds. So AJ shot some towards the end of the day just to screw around off camera, and it's still performing, but it looks like hell. So yeah, I'd replace it at 100 rounds. As far as the 6.5 Creedmoor, sounded great. I didn't need any ear protection in. I didn't get any reverberation into the truck bed. It sounded great, so perfect there. On the Armalite AR-10, the 308 high pressure round, and it's a semi-auto, so I was getting some discomfort and back pressure out of that ejection port in my right ear. So I threw on some earmuffs later on in the day when we were doing the long range stuff. Guys, suppressor works well, but if you're getting any discomfort, throw some foamies in or something, because hearing loss is accumulative. It even states so in the manual, okay? So don't take any chances with your ears. Couple shots, sure, but if you're gonna be out here shooting all day, having fun, throw some foamies in if you're using a high pressure round like that on a semi-automatic host. Bolt gun, forget about it. You don't need it at all. This thing performs like crazy. And one of you is gonna be lucky enough to take the sucker home. And if you're not that lucky winner, you can come out here and try it in person at Suppress Fest 2018 on November 10th. For more information, click the URL below, suppressfest.com, and you have a whole write-up on how the day is gonna go. Quick synopsis: you pay a flat fee, you get a wristband, you get access to 20 companies who are gonna be out here with their suppressors, providing all the ammunition, and you can demo their stuff all day. We will have food trucks, porta potties, everything we need. And then at the end of the day, once you're done shooting everything to your heart's content, each company's gonna give away some raffle prizes. All the raffle tickets are 100% going to charity. So it's gonna be a hell of a day on November 10th. Make sure you don't miss it. And if you can't come out to not miss any more videos, make sure to click that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.